Welcome back, guys. In last session, we discussed about text box properties and group properties, tablets properties, and we have seen a lot of properties in last session. And after that, we had a break. And now, in this session, we are going to discuss about um, expressions, the heart of SSRS, I can say. Without expressions, you can generate a report, but you cannot meet all the requirements that is given by the client. So, what are these expressions? Where you can find the expressions tab or expressions page. Expressions page, first if you see expressions page, it can be seen anywhere. For example, this is a text box we have taken and kept it in the header of the report, right? If I right click, you can see expression. And this is another text box, the same expression. Here this is Tablix cell. Here you can see expression. And this is a column header. You can see expression part. And where else you want to go? I mean, let me go for Tablix properties. I'm going to Tablix properties. And if you see, here you have expression button. That means the tooltip you can give a dynamic value or the value that is coming from the database. Visibility, you can go for expression. Filters, obviously expression option will be there. You can see here and here, right? In the same way, sorting, you can give based on expression. So wherever you go, whichever property you take, you will have the option expression. For example, I'm going to text box. This is a text box. Okay, it's taking double click. Let me take a single click here. Now, if I go to the properties by selecting F4, you can see this is format. You can give expression, and this is a font. You have different options in the font like font family, font size, and so on. For everything, you can set expression. So such a powerful option this expression is. That is why I want to have a dedicated session for these expressions. And in this session, we are going to completely discuss about expressions only. Okay. And in next session, we will be commenting on the remaining items like list, rectangle, image, sub-reports, and after we complete this job, we'll look into the deployment and report server. So let's start with the expression. To start with the expression, let me define a report which is clean and good. I don't want all this shit in my report. So first, let me remove the header and footers, which I don't need. I've removed that. And this matrix, it is not looking good. Let me remove that. And I have this guy. So now the report looks good, and let me execute the report and see whether it is executing properly without any error. It is executing, and let's wait for the data to load. You can see it is taking a lot of time. The reason might be the amount of records that we are pulling. So let me filter some records here. I don't want this much also. I just need 1000. But because we are going to discuss about the expressions, not the data. So now this is coming fast. Good. We are good to go with expression. So you have seen this expressions page in every corner of this SSRS project, right? Wherever you go, you can set that expression. If you observe one thing, wherever you click the expression page, here I click now on the text box of a Tablix report, you can see the same category is available, item, and third some box to show the properties. And if I select the expression somewhere in the group properties, let's say let me go to page breaks or filters, something, you can see the same expressions page opens. There is no difference between the expression page that I opened in the text box or matrix report or tabular report, or to set some property like color, background color, and so on. For example, if you see this, the color option, if I go to the expressions, you can see the same stuff here, the category, the item, and the values. On top, you can provide the expression path. So what I'm trying to say, tell here is, you don't need to go and look at the expressions page that is available in each and every property. Okay, if you see the expressions of one at one place, you can easily understand the remaining stuff. So let me drive through this expressions page and hope I will I will cover everything. If not, try to practice it and get back to me if you have any queries. So first let me take here. I'm going to the expression page. So expression page will have 4 containers. First one is expression value, set expression, sorry. The first one is where you have to set the expression. The second one is category. What are all the different categories that are available, and we will see each and everything. The third one is item, and fourth one is values. No constants are available for this property. This is the place where you will find the values. Now, there is nothing to explain about this expression part. And first, let's start with the different categories that are available in the expressions page. What is the first one? The first one is constants. What are constants means? Constants are nothing but what I can say, the one which won't change, that is fixed. While execution is going on or while report is rendering, these constant values will remain the same. It won't be changed. Okay. Let me tell you an example. This is a text box. I right click on the text box and I clicked on expressions page, and there is no constant value available to use in this text box. That means for this text box, there is no constant value that I can make use of while setting the expression. If I go to the color and I click on expressions page, the only difference between the expressions page of different properties is constants. Remember, this is the only difference you can find. So what is the colors you can set? What is the colors you can set? Those will be part of your constants. Constants are nothing but the values that you can set for that particular property. Okay, this is a color property, and hence the constants are some colors. And text box, you will not have any constants. You have to type. You can type Rupesh, you can type XYZ, you can type bullshit, you can type some numericals. It's your wish. That's why they can't provide the constants for this particular guide. In the same way, if you go to the font where you can find, see, these are all the different values you can set for this particular property. So if I go to the expressions, you can see Aharoni, Andalos, some properties are there. If I go to the expressions page, you can see the same properties are available in the item part. Under item, you have the same properties that you can set for this particular property. So the constants are nothing but the values that you can set for the particular property where you selected the expression page. So this is about the constants. Why it is not available for text box? It's a simple reason. Text box, you can pass any value, and that's why they cannot provide any constant. If you want to give any constant value, type something. This is what you can type in the text box. So this is about constants category in the expressions page. Now, next, let's see the built-in fields. The built-in fields are very well aware of. You are very well aware of these built-in fields, like report folder where this report is deployed. You can get this by using this global variable. And page number, page name, overall total pages. So you can get all this information, system related information, using these built-in fields. And you can make use of these built-in fields in your text boxes or wherever you want. So this is about built-in fields and constants. So let's go for an example for constants and the built-in fields. I'm taking one more column. No, I'll take 2 columns. Okay, 2 extra columns are there. For the first one, this is constant example. So I'll name it as constant. This is built-in fields. So I name it as built-in fields. Now, what I'm doing here is, for this text box, I'm going to the expression and I'm trying to give some constants. As this is a text box, there is no default value that you can set for this, so I'm typing my own. I'll take it like this. I've given some constant text here, and now I'm going to this expression and I'm making use of the built-in field. So this built-in field, let's say I'll go for report name or page name. Okay. So this column, I want this, the server to display the page name of this particular report. Oops, I'm sorry. Page. 1 second. These global, these can be used only in page header and footer, which we have already seen. I tried to give it in the table. That's why it is throwing this error. If you see the value expression of the text run, text box 8 dot some paragraphs of text runs refers to a global variable, page number or total pages. These global variables can be used only in the page header and the page footer. So I've done this mistake. So let me take this out, and I can add a header or footer to show you an example for built-in fields. So let me go for header, or better go for footer. I'll take a text box and I'm going to the same expression page to use built-in fields. I'm taking the page name. Let me go for it now and see how it shows. So if you see the page footer, the page name is nothing. I have not given any page name, that's why it is not showing anything. And if you see the text, the constant value, it is showing bullshit here. So this is how you can make use of the constants and the page numbers in. And remember, the global variables you can define only in the page footers. So this is one point to remember. And if you jump into the next categories that are available in the expressions page, the third one is parameters. This is the most frequently used one in reports these days, next to fields. The first priority is for fields and then the parameters. I demonstrated you a simple example, right? Couple of sessions back. If I export this report, let me add to demonstrate the same, the parameters expression. So sorry, the parameters category in the expression page, I need to add a parameter. So let me add a parameter color. So I'll name it as color param and I'll prompt it as color. I will set allow multiple values. Available values are from the data set color. There is one data set. I'll use color and fine. Now I'm gonna set the where condition, which I have to provide for to filter the data. Where color in @color. And what is the third step I have to do? I have to map this query parameter with the report parameter, and I am doing it here. Now, if I go to preview, it will ask me to select the color. I'll take black, multi, gray, silver. I've selected 4 colors, and this report is generated. You can see the silver color, and after silver, I have only silver color data, I think, or it is filtering the data. I'm getting only top 1000 records, right? So I'm getting only silver color information. So this is fine. Now, what is my problem here is if I export this report, let's say if I export it to Excel, it will export in the same way what you are seeing in the screen. For example, if you see, let me show you the same by exporting. I exported this report and you can see the report in the same format, same look and feel. The problem is the end user, if I send this Excel to the end user can't understand what are all the filter combination used to generate this report. He can't find out whether it is based on the color or based on some product or based on some sales amount. He can't find out the combination. So what is the best way to solve that issue? To provide that information, you have to provide what are all the parameters that are selected to generate this report. How can we do that? So to do the same, So my requirement here is to provide the parameters what are selected by the user. What are all the parameters available for us? For us, we have only two parameters available. Sorry, one parameter available, that is color. So let me modify the report. Color is in one text box, and I'm taking one more text box where I'll show the color selected. So this will give the end user a better I can say complete report. So in this expressions page, I'm gonna use the parameters option or parameters category to show the parameters that are selected. Okay. To do the same, if I select this color dot parameter, you can see the value of 0 is selected by default. So whatever, even if the user selected 50 colors, 50 different colors, the first color will be shown in the report. Let me show you an example here. I've selected parameter color, and I'm taking 4 colors here. And if I click on view report, you can see the color black is showing. That means the problem here is it is taking value of 0. Okay. So let me modify it. So this is the use. If you select this parameter, if you select this color parameter, the value that is selected will be shown in the text box or wherever you are using this parameter category. So to show all the values, there is an option. What are all the values selected by the user? To show the same, we can use join operator. Join the values selected by the user with a comma separator or whatever the separator you want. Now if you see, I'm asking the server to join the parameter values selected for the parameter color with the separator comma. Now if I go to the preview report, let me take all the colors and click on view report. You can see everything: black, blue, gray, multi, NA, red, silver, silver or black, white and yellow. Everything is selected. Everything is showing with a comma separator. It is not showing full data. Might be the problem with the filters, or see, not equal to black. Some filter is said, that's the problem. Now you can see a better report. So now I'm selecting all the colors. You can see the color black, blue, all these are selected, and the output is this report. And if I select only few colors like black, gray and not applicable, you can see only these 3 guys will be shown in the text box. So what I'm trying to explain here is, in expressions page, you can use parameters category to show the parameters that are selected or to make use of the parameters. Okay, this is the use of parameters category in expressions page. So let me format it in a better way. I'll take it left alignment, this particular text, this expressions text, I will take it left align. And if I go to preview, and if I select gray, multi, NA and red color, you can see these 4 are selected and the colors are, the report is filtered based on these colors. If I export this report now to the desktop, there is already a report with this name. Let me replace it. Oops, this is open, so I cannot overwrite it. Now I can overwrite. Let me save the report again. Click on save. Report already exists. Okay, overwrite. And now I'll open the report. You can see the parameter color is on top. Just like how we design. It's based on our design. Whatever we design, it will be shown in the same way. So the advantage, try to see the advantage we are having. If I provide this report to the end user, he'll check this. Okay, color, he selected gray, multi, NA and red. And this is the output of the parameter selection. So this report will give more meaning to the end user who is going through the report. So this is the use of this can be done using the parameters category option that is available in the expressions page. Now let's see the next category that is available, and we will revisit the colors and all, the expressions, how to set the properties to the colors and all using expressions page after finishing all the categories that are available. So the fourth category is fields. It's the straightforward one. The field selection is nothing but however you selected, right? For example, if you keep your mouse here, you can see an icon coming. If you select this, all the fields that are present will be shown, all the fields that are part of this data set. If I select sales amount, the sales amount will be taken. In the same way, the same thing can be done using the fields here. If you select the fields, it will list all the fields. If you select sales amount, this guy will give you sales amount information. This guy will take sales amount value and it will display the same. You can see it here. So whatever you are doing by using the icon that will become visible when the mouse is on the text box is the same as setting using the fields option or fields category that is present in the expressions page. So right click expressions, you can select fields and select a particular column to display that value, or simply keep the mouse here. You can see this icon, select this and select whatever the column you want to show. That's it. For example, for this constant, if you want to show sales amount, again select this, or I'm going back, go to text box properties, go to fields and select sales amount. Both are one and the same. So this is about the fields. And the next one is data sets. If you go to the option, let me take a text box here to demonstrate the data sets. So I'm taking a text box here. I'm going to expression, and you can see the next option is data set. It will show what are all the data sets that are present in this particular report. I have two data sets, embed and color. If you see the embed, all the non-aggregatable columns are showing as first name, first of English product name, first of color, first of class. And if you see aggregating columns or the integer or decimal columns, better to say, these are coming as sum. So if you use the data set, you can get either the first value of the textual columns, or sum of the integer or decimal columns. You can get only this information. You cannot get any other information. So what is the use of this? For example, you can use footer, you can use what you can say, subtotals to get the total sales. You can also use this expression data sets. Data sets will give you complete sales, right? Sum of sales amount will give you the total sales amount. Okay, let me execute this and show you here. I'm selecting all the colors, and if I go to the last page, to the bottom, you can see the total sales is showing here. So if you want to get any total value or something like that, then you can make use of this option. For example, if you want to calculate the percentage of sales amount, and you know this is the sales amount, this sales amount is the sales amount for a particular row divided by, if I take sum of sales amount, this guy will give you complete sales amount. So that is one advantage. If you want to calculate percentages and all, if you want to get the total sales, you have to make use of the data sets option, or if you want to show line items like this, then you have to go for fields option. That is the only difference between data sets and fields, and data sets are useless in 99% of the cases. People don't use that, and the most frequently used one is fields. Okay, let me remove this now. This is going to negligible value. That's why it is showing 0.00. And the next one is variables. This is pretty tricky one. If you have any variables defined, for example, if you go to the report properties, you can see the option variables. All right. Under report menu, you can see variables page. Here you can add a variable, for example test. I'm adding a variable test and I'm providing a value, let's say 100, or you can give dynamic value. Okay, if you use this as read only, check this, then it will be read only. That means you can make use of the value. If you uncheck this, then you can assign the value while executing the code. If conditions, if something is equal something, set something, you can use all those stuff. Let me set it to read only for now. Now I defined a variable called text. So I'm going to the sales amount expression. Let me take it as sales amount plus whatever the variable value that is available, that is 100 in our case. So if I go to the preview now, you know the last column is sales amount, right? The last column I have taken is sales amount and this is plus 100. That means plus variable. The variable value is assigned to 100. So you can use these variables whenever based on the requirements and based on the workflow. For example, if you have some tax amount, it will be continuously changing. Right? Or if you have some concatenation, country or India, next to that India, you have to concatenate some text. Like for every country you have to do the same means, then you can define it in a variable and you can concatenate it for all the values. So variables, basically you can define it somewhere and you can define it under variables page and you can use it in your calculations or in creating your expressions. And the next option is, if you see, the next category is operators. I don't need to explain anything here, the operators. Why? Because it is, you can find the description here. What is this operator for? You can see this power operator raises a number to a power of another number. For example, I'll give some hard-coded value. You know 2 to the power of 3. What is the 2 to the power of 3? 2 into 2 into 2, right? I'm giving 2 to the power of 3 here. If you want to calculate any power kind of information, then you have to use this. Let me select all. And if you see 2 to the power of 3, that is 8888. The value is, so the power will do 2 into 2 into 2. You are very well aware of this. You are mathematics guys, right? So let me select some default value, man. It is taking my time like anything. Specify values. I'll take blank. This is fine. If I execute now, I think it will take default black and it will show you the report. Now let's see the next operator. What is the operator that is present? Under arithmetic, it is star. You are very well aware of this. If I give star, it will be 2 into 3, that is equal to 6. And the difference between backward slash and forward slash, this is a little bit different. If you use this slash, then it will give you floating point result. That means 3 by 2 is 1.5. The result will be that one. And if you use this, it will give you integer result. It will give you the nearest integer. That's the difference between backward slash and forward slash. And if you use mod, you know very well, mod will give you the remainder, if I am correct. I forgot mathematics. Mod will give you the remainder, like 4 divided by 2, the modulus 4 modulus of 2 is 0. The remainder is 0. 5 modulus of 2 is 1. Let's try the same. I'm giving 4 modulus mod of 2. So 4 mod of 2, and for the tax amount text box, I'm giving 5 mod of 2. I'll type it. So it will give the remainder value. Let's see what is the remainder for each. For sales, it is 4 mod of 2. It will be 0. The remainder is 0. For the tax amount column, it is 5 mod 2. That is 1. So this is how you can use mod function, and this is very useful function. People use this very frequently. I will show you an example in this session only. And let's see the remaining operators. What we have, plus and minus, and plus acts in two ways. It will add two numbers If it is numbers, it will add two numbers. For example, 5 plus 2, it will be 7. I'm using plus with some text now. I'm giving text Rupesh. Okay. I have to give it in double quotes. Rupesh. I'm taking plus. He is a trainer. I'm not giving, yeah. So what this guy will do? This guy will not sum these two. This guy will concatenate. The plus will act in two ways. One is concatenation, one is sum. So when you pass integer numbers, integer fields, then it will take the sum. If you pass textual information, then it will concatenate. So that is the beauty of this plus operator in expressions page. It acts as both it depends on the data that you are passing. What will happen if you give Rupesh is a trainer plus 5 here? This is integer and that is textual information. You have both here, and what will happen now? You can see, man, both are different, so I cannot do anything. Both are not of same data type. You pass one textual information and one integer information, and server does not understand what needs to be done here. Okay, this is how you can use plus operator for two things. One for concatenating the text, and second one for adding the integer values. And the last one minus, you are very well aware of this, you just try it at home. And comparison operator, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and you can see this the description is given and the example is given very clearly here. This is less than, and this is how you can check. Salary income less than 25,000, then show it in red color. If it is greater than 25,000, show it in green color. Let's see an example for this. We'll see the example, so many examples in future. So less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and equal to that is comparison operator, and not equal to this one, and like. If you observe the like, while giving like, you have to use star. T star means then all the names that start with the T, or star T star you can provide like this, just like in SQL Server. But in SQL Server you use percentage operator, but here you have to use star. Remember the difference, okay? And is operator if you want to compare two fields. For example, if the first name is last name, if both are same, then it will return true. So you can use is operator to compare. And concatenation operator, it's again the plus. The plus I explained you already. If you provide string values, the plus acts as concatenation operator. And if you provide integer values, the plus acts as sum operator. And here under concatenation, you can see plus again, or you can use ampersand, which we used so many times till now. And logical or bitwise, you are masters of this. And or, for example, you have some condition, fields year of income dot value is greater than so and so, and cars owned is greater than so and so, then that means he is rich. So this is AND operator. Both should be evaluated to true. The first condition and the second condition. And NOT operator is, if it is true, it will make it as false. If it is false, it will make it as true. And OR operator, either one of these one is true, then it will go and it will return as succeeded. And exclusive OR performs a logical exclusion. I never tried that, and the students from ECE background or computer background might be very well aware of this. So you are masters of these things compared to me. And also performs like this. For example, performs a short circuiting logical conjugation on two expressions. I have never tried this, so let's try the same now. If you want to try it. Man, I'll get back to you on this. Why? Because I have never tried this. This is, this looks like a AND operator, but I've never tried this. Or else, these two are pretty new. These two are new to me. Let me check this and get back to you. And bit shift. this is very tricky. I mean, you can't understand unless you are good in switching theory, logical design, a subject in ECE, I think. So let me show you an example here. I'm taking a field, sales amount. I'm taking a bit shift. Okay. Bit shift. I'm giving a value 5. What will happen? Can you go for a guess? For sales amount column, what will happen now? This value is nowhere related to this value. And same way, the complete column is nowhere related to constant column. Why I'm saying is these two are using the same sales amount, but this is one bit shift by 4. So what bit shift will do is bit shift will convert the integer value, let's say the integer or decimal value. Let's say in our case this value which is used here. Let me show you that. I used sales amount here, right? And I used sales amount in this expression with bit shift. Okay. So it should be identical in real, but it is not at all identical. Why? Because first it will convert this value into binary value 0 1 0 1 0 1 something binary value. So I don't know how it converts, but there is a procedure to convert. After converting, it will remove the last 4 or first 4, depends on the bit shift operator whatever we provide. If you provide less than, then it will remove the first 4 bit values 0 1 0 1, and once it is removed, or that means once it is shifted by 4 digits or 4 places, then it will get a new value. That value will be converted to integer again. Let me show you an example. The 699.0982, let's say it is converted to this value 10110, something like this. 11 0 0 0 1 1. If I give left shift of bit 4, then these 4 will be shifted. This guy will be shifted to here. So this guy will become a new value, and this new value will be again converted to integer, and that integer will be displayed here, and you can see the same integer value. And in real, I have worked on, in real time, I have worked on so many projects, but I've never used this option. That's why I'm saying this one is not of high priority, unless you are working on some mathematics, tan, cos, theta, all those kind of stuff. You don't need these bit shift operators. So this is about different operators. And next, if you come to functions, common functions, there are so many functions available, and it is not possible to cover each and everything. Let me cover a couple of things, and anyhow you have the description available and a simple example provided, so you can always try it at home. So ASC, what it will return is it will return the ASCII value of a particular character that you are providing. For example, I'm giving ASCII of A. Let me take it as I'm providing ASCII of A. There is a value, ASCII value for this A character, and that is 65. It will return the ASCII value. In the same way, you have so many functions, so many text functions, like ASCII value of character code. This is a different, you will get different value. And this is char. If you provide 65 here, char of 65, it will return A. Or if you provide 66, then it will return B. This guy will give you the alphabet for the ASCII value that you pass, or character value for the ASCII value that you provide in the parameters list. Like you can see here, he provided 65. And filter. If you want to filter some values, then you can use this. And format, if you want to format to long date. This is the best example, you can try it. You know, global execution time will return you the time at which the report is executed. You can format it to either long date or short date. You can provide the value like this in the second expression. And format currency. If you want to format the currency by having some decimals and so on. You can try all these functions. I mean, it's always good to practice. And I have never used all these functions, but I'm still a BI developer or SSRS expert. So it is not mandatory to, I mean, use all the functions that are available in all your projects. These functions are provided to meet all the requirements that people are going to work on. This SSRS is not a tool that is specified or specially designed for me, right? It is for the complete world. So it depends on the requirements of the projects. You may use, may not use, and generally what people use is people use join operator. I showed you an example where we use join operator. If you have multi-value parameter, then you can concatenate and show all the values, and L case to convert the values into lowercase, and left if you want to show only left side 4 characters. Or can you tell me one example where we can use the left function? So the left function can be used while showing the month names. Most of the cases, clients want to show only 3 characters of every month name, like Jan, Feb, March, April, APR, and so on. So in that case, if you are getting full month name, what you can do? You can use left of the column name, comma 3. It will show only 3 characters in the. I'll show you an example for this. So I'll take left of. I'll take the field color here. Color, comma. I'll take only 3 characters. So it will show, this column will show colors only with left 3 characters. For example, if you see black, it is showing as blah. And let's see whether I have any other color here. I'm pulling only 1000 records, right? So I don't expect another color here. So I can see here only black color products are coming. So this is how you can use text functions, the left function from the text category. And length, it will give you the length of the string. Few cases you may need this length function. One example is if the string length is greater than 10 characters, then show only 3, something like that. Based on the length of the string that is coming in, you have to make some flow, you have to make some decision. So in that case, you can use length function, and you can use ltrim, which is useful function. If there is any space on the left hand side, it will trim it. And this is opposite to left function. And replace function is a useful one. It will have 3 parameters. The first one is column. Okay. Second one is what value to be replaced with what value. For example, I'll go for the same thing. Replace the values that is coming from this color, and the value with B, replace it with blah blah. So instead of B, wherever B is available, it will place blah blah. Let's see. You can see in the place of B, it is replaced with blah blah. So this is how you can use replace function. And let's see a couple of other functions that are available here. String reverse, it will show the data in reverse. And split, you may use this. If you have a comma separator values, then you can split this. Okay. And trim, it will trim the space on the right hand side and the left hand side on the both sides. And this guy will convert the strings into uppercase characters. If I provide small a, it will return capital A. And in the same way, you have so many functions for date and time. So convert date, you can convert to date. For example, the values that are coming from the database, if it is in text information, textual format, then you can use CDate to convert the text into the date format. Once you convert into date format using CDate function, then you can apply all these date functions on it. Like you can get the day of the date. If it is string, you cannot get that. If you convert it into date, you can get the day. You can get month, and you can use month name to return the month name if you provide any number. For example, let me show you an example here. I'm selecting month name of I'll give 11. What will return? If I execute this, the 11 month name will be provided, that is November. You can see the November is returning in the report. And let's see any other functions we can see here in this session. So date function like this, you can get second. This now will function return the current system date and time if you want to get it. And month, it will give you the number. What is the month? That is 11 or 12 if you provide the date. Hour, minute, and so on. Everything, it will provide the dates or hours or months or whatever you want, whatever the part you want from the date, complete date. And if you see math functions, this is purely for mathematics, guys. Sine, log, 10, floor. If you see floor, this is a useful function. For example, 4.67. What is the floor? Floor is nothing but the least integer, nearest lower integer. For example, 4.67. What is the lowest integer? That is less than this value. Less than this value, the lowest integer is 4. If you go for ceiling, it will give you the nearest integer next to this value. 34.3352, the nearest integer is 34, but ceiling will give you the top value, that is 35 is the nearest integer. And for the same 34.3352, the floor value, if you provide floor, if you use floor function, it will return 34. And e power exponential, you are very well aware of this. E power 5, e power 10 if you want to use e. And log base 2. Log 2 to the 2, what is the value? It is 1. In the same way, log 10, this is log 10 to the base of 10, log value to the base of 10. So log 10 to the 10 is equal to 1. And max of, you can use this to get the maximum value that is present in this column and minimum value that is present in the column or expression. So this is a one square root. This is square root function, and this is sine. You can use sine. You can get the sine value. And tan theta, sine theta, cos theta, cosine theta. I forgot all those things. So these functions can be used to calculate those values. And inspection, it will help you in checking is nothing, is array, or for example, if you are getting a null value, if you want to show 0 instead of null value, then you can use is nothing. Is nothing of how to use this. Is nothing of any particular column. For example, color. So like this, you can use is nothing or inspection operator. In the same way, is numeric. You can check it whether I am getting a numeric value or not. If numeric, then you can use divided by or whatever you want. If it is non-numeric, then you can use as a string or convert it into integer and then use in calculations. So this is inspection operating, inspection functions if you want, like whether you want to check if it is an array, if it is a date function, date value is present in the particular column or not. You can use this is date function. Now program flow, the main one is if. The choose, you can see in the example, choose 2. 2 means what is first value will be taken into consideration. The first value is 2, and next to that first parameter you have 3 values. So what is the second of these 3 values? 15 is the second, so it will return the 15. And if you see date part of week he is taking. Okay, I'll take this example. I don't have this field, so let me take now. Okay, what is the function for now? I mean to get the current date. Yeah, this is fine. Let's see what it returns. So it is taking 6th. Why? Because the weekday for the current date is Friday, and it starts from Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it is 6th day. And Saturday is 7th day. So that is how you can use choose function. If you see here, choose will take the first value The output of this value is 6, and it will take the sixth value in this output. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will return 6. So that is how the choose operator works. And if you are very well aware of this, and we will use this if condition in a couple of minutes from now, and switch, switch this value is equal to OR, then show this value, and value is equal to WA, then show Washington. So if you want to replace any value with a new value, then you can go for this switch. You can go for condition check and provide a new value instead of the old. And aggregate functions like average, count, everything, you have to practice all this stuff. And I would like you guys to practice all the common functions that are available here and ping me whenever you have any queries. And I will explain in the same way. Like if you see, it will give you the maximum value, and if it gives you the minimum value, this guy gives you the first, this guy will give you the last. And you can see all these functions when you use data sets. Data sets, first, sum, right? In the same way, you can use last also, you can use instead of sum, you can use average also, you can use count also. So this is how you can use aggregate functions. And financial, no need as of now. And conversion, this is useful one. Convert to Boolean. You can convert one data type value to another data type. See date. You have seen this already in date functions. So you can convert a value to a date. Any textual column which is having date format values to a date column. In the same way, she short, convert to short value, convert to string value, convert to single value, this one, and convert to double value, convert to decimal value, and so on. You can convert one value to, one format or one data type to another data type. Under miscellaneous, you don't need much. I mean, whether it is in scope or not, you can check the scope and level. This is of not of high importance. This level will come into picture when you talk about parent-child hierarchies. You don't need this at this point of time. The thing that you have to keep in mind is row number. Row number will give you what is the row number of the particular report. For example, let's try to use the same row number function and mod function here to provide alternate alerts. I've selected the complete row, okay, and already it is set. If you see the expression here, I'm taking the row number of nothing means the current data, whatever we are showing, mod 2, that means modulus of 2. So if this guy returns 0, then it will show in light gray color, or it will show in white color. That means the first row will be shown in white color, the second row will be shown in the light gray color. So this is how you can make use of the functions to set your desired style. Now let's see by setting the values. For example, I'm taking the sales amount and I'm going to the font, and I'll set. Now let's see how to use the constant values. Okay, if by using if condition, generally people set this, make use of this constant values. What is the field? If sales amount, right? If sales amount dot value is greater than 600, or I'll go for 700, then I'm setting the constants here. Show it in Haromi or something else. Show it in Arial Narrow. Now let's see how this guy be shows. You can see the values that is less than 700 is showing in one format, and the values in greater than 700 is showing in different format. So this is how you can make use of the constants for anything. Now I use the constants for setting the font size, and this is not limited for only 2 values. And again in else part, you can set one more condition. If again the value, the sales amount is greater than 9,000, or I'll go for 5,000, then show, I'm taking the constants help again, Arial not Arial, I'll take bookshelf, else show Bradley something. So now I have two condition checks. If it is false directly, it will show in one color, else it will show, you can see, this is one, and if I have any value greater than 5000, it will be in entirely different format, but I'm not seeing any value which is greater than 5000 here. I have only 2000, 700 and so on. I don't have 5000 values. So this is how you can make use of the constant values. Now let's see by setting the same option by using that option in Tablex properties. I am taking tooltip. Sorry, tooltip expression. If parameter dot value is equal to black, then Rupesh selected black, else Rupesh selected blue, or not selected black. So I'm setting a condition here. Take the first parameter value and based on that set the tooltip. So I'm taking, if you see, Rupesh selected black is coming. Why? Because Rupesh has selected black here. If I take this out and if I select blue and click on view report, and you can see the tooltip should be changed. Rupesh not selected black. Why? Because I'm taking the first value and setting the color based on the, the tooltip based on the color selected. So like this, you can use the expressions. See, there is no magic involved. The only thing is you have to understand the requirement. What is the requirement? Okay, if the sales amount is less than so and so, show it in some color. If that is your requirement, or the font should be changed. For example, I'm taking the same condition here. The whatever the expression I'm having here, I'm taking the same and I'm setting the font size based on that. If you see, instead of here, it will not be font family, it will be font size 10 pt, and here instead of bookshelf, I'll show 20 pt, or finally 30 pt. This is size, right? So I'm setting in points. Now let's see the values, how it shows. You can see this is coming in 30, I think. This is coming in 10. So like that, the values, sizes, the fonts, it is not dependent on the property name or property type. The expressions page purely depended on the value, the conditions you are going to check. The same property page, the same expression page will be available for everything. You don't need to worry saying that, okay, I know about the expression page that is available in a Tablex report. In the cells, I can set the expression, but I can't set the expression in for a color. There is nothing new to set here. The same kind of condition checks and the defaults. The only thing is the constants will be changing. If you see now, I selected some font weight, and you are getting thin, extra light, medium. These are all the constants. Apart from these constants, the remaining stuff will remain the same, and hence wherever you see the effects, that means you are able to pass a dynamic value for that. So this is about expressions, and I request you to go through all the expressions, the functions that are available, practice it, take the example they have given, practice the same, and try to find out what is the use of a particular each and every function available in the expressions page, and get some thorough knowledge on this so that it will be easy for you to write complex expressions or to achieve complex requirements. In next session, we are going to discuss about rectangle, list, image, subreport, and couple of other things which we missed in last session, which I promised to revisit, like a recursive function, recursive property in the groups. I still remember those. So we will revisit all those stuff, and we need a couple of sessions for discussing about the different report items that are available in the toolbox. after that couple of sessions for deploying and the reports and the report manager. Okay guys, that's it for today's session. Please practice well before coming to the next session. Thank you.